everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, Monday, January 13th, 2025. And this is Flosstube video number 33. Number 33. I will start, welcome back to my channel. If you are a return viewer, if you are new, welcome as well. I want to do a little happy dance because I'm now over 100 subscribers. I know as of like Wednesday, I was still at like 99 subscribers. And then this morning when I woke up, I had an email from YouTube congratulating me on getting 100 subscribers. So when I went to go check, I actually have 101. So thank you everyone for tuning in with me week after week to see my progress on my cross stitch. You are very much appreciated. So thank you. Thank you for coming. So yay! So I will start today with the Stitchy Mail that I got, which was the only piece of Stitchy Mail that I got was the fabric for the Mirabilia. This is Wild Bouquet by BeStitchMe. This is a half yard Lugana Opal 28 count. So let me sort of come back. So I'm not sure which side I'm going to stitch it on, but there is this sort of yellow bit that I think if I stitch it this way, I think if I stitch it this way, this yellow spot here will maybe be about where her wand or scepter is. So I think I'm hoping that that would work out, that that yellow burst is that yellow burst will line up not exactly, but pretty close to where that scepter is. That would be really cool. And so then I have little a stitch counter. It was the one that was on my Bella Filipina, but now I will put it on here. I just have to decide if that's what I want to do. Stitch it that way to see if it lines up. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think so, but we'll see when I actually start it for next month. So that was my one and only piece of Stitchy Mail. I've been really good towards the end of December, and hold on, the dog would like to come back in. Okay, as I was saying, I've been really good about not buying and ordering a lot of things. I will be putting an order with 123 Stitch to get probably fabric, floss for next month's wish list piece. It's full coverage, so I'm not going to be getting an opal piece. I might go with the Easy Grid again because I'm going to be trying Stitchy Mommy's sort of typewriter method, where you start in the top left of the piece and work a 10 by 10 block, and you work that thread and you work it either over and down. You work the thread out where it goes, and then you pick the next symbol in the 10 by 10 block and you do the same thing. You work it out and down wherever it goes. And then you just keep on doing that all the way across the top, and then just row by row, sort of like a typewriter. So the Easy Grid would definitely be the easiest way to do that. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but I do need to get fabric for that piece because the piece of Easy Grid that I have left over is just not big enough. But I'll be placing an order with 123 Stitch. So when that comes, I will be showing it. So that was it for my Stitchy Mail. So let's get into my projects. Project number 1 is the one that I call Favorite Designer. And this is Bella Filipina, The Daughters of Estuary. And the art is by Aldrin J.C. Padilla. For anybody wondering, this is 172 wide by 370 high. And my fabric that I am doing it on is Volcano Stitchings Poseidon Aida Opal 18 by 28. So I was wondering if you could see the sparkle a little bit. I don't even think so. I think my lighting in the kitchen has it completely washed out. So here, now let's do it over here. Okay, so here is my progress for the past week. You can pretty much see where all of the beads and the Krynic, like there's a few pieces of Krynic up here supposed to be in her arm, and then I think there's 1 or 2 little stitches of Krynic down here in her tail, but most of this is beads. And then there's some more beads that like come down this way. So I am almost done with this half of this page. Since I'm a middle out stitcher, I started in the middle and, you know, worked my way up to the top of the page. And this just so happened to be on half of the page. So this is a half a page, and then the next page will be the rest of her body. Can you see them both? I can't see what you can see. But I absolutely love the opal fabric, which you can't really see at all. I can't see any of the sparkle reflecting back. I think I could actually see it better in the basement. But I love the way opal sparkles. And I almost have the entire project floss dropped now. After when I found a little bit of extra time, I did go down and like cut out all of the ones that didn't cut out, and the one that I had like double cut, there was like 2 or 3 that I was able to use. The rest weren't. So what I've done is I've taped the number to the back of the floss drop for now, until I can sit down and work with the vinyl and put the vinyl pieces on. But I have a few more left to floss drop, and then I have extra drops made so that I can floss drop my Mira. And so I've been having fun making floss drops, and I did figure it out with the Cricut. It's like 6 passes, and you can change the pressure of the blade. So like there's default, more, and less. So like 6 passes and the pressure to more cut it out where there was just like a few, like what would be called like a hanging chad. And so I just like, you know, took my X-Acto blade and just like went for the few that didn't pop out. But overall, it was well worth the experimentation, I think. So project number 2 is sampler or blackwork piece. This month it is a sampler. This is what it is called. It is translated to Dutch Beauty. And it has me starting up here in this top corner. But it's a pretty big one, and I'm doing this one on 14 count. that I hand dyed myself. So it's huge. The fabric was a yard of fabric, and I have like 1.5 inch borders, and it's just going to be a huge one. Okay, so here is my progress. I believe I worked a little bit in this tree, and I worked on what's coming up here. Oh goodness, again, I forgot to give you my times. For the Bella, last week from January 6th to January 12th, I worked on it a total of 12 hours, 17 minutes, and 30 seconds. So total for this project now for the Bella, I have put in 22 hours, 43 minutes, and 47 seconds. And then for the sampler, last week, oh, I have imported this into Pattern Keeper. It was a pain in the butt because there are like 24 or 25 pages. It's listed alphabetically and it goes all the way up to you. So it was a pain scanning everything and then trying to line up the grids, and it's not perfect, but I do have it in Pattern Keeper. And because I now have it in Pattern Keeper, I actually have stitch counts available to me. So for the first week that I started stitching it, when I worked on it, the first, the second, and the third, the first I did 347 stitches, the second I did 254 stitches, and the third I did 176 stitches. So then this past week, I only put 1 hour and 48 minutes and 25 seconds into it because the stitching times that I was doing, I was either floss dropping projects or I was importing it into Pattern Keeper. It took me 45 minutes to import it into Pattern Keeper. So that was, 45 minutes of stitching time. That day, I only got to stitch on it for 22 minutes because not only did I put it into Pattern Keeper, but then I also marked off everything that I had done. So, so I worked on it the 8th and I worked on it the 10th. And like I said, for those 2 days, I only got to work on it for 1 hour and 48 minutes. So on the 8th, I did 258 stitches. And then on the 10th, I did 82 stitches because that was the day that I'd done everything. And I was like, okay, let me actually do some stitching on it. So total, since I've started it, I've put in 7 hours and 23 minutes and 17 seconds. And like the stitch count is a little skewed because it's saying that I have 245,700 stitches, but that's because it's also counting the blank grid pieces. So really what I'm doing is I'm just like marking off the design. And I can tell you total now I have done 1,117 stitches on it. And it says that I'm 0.45% done, but like I said, that percentage is going to be a little off because of the way that it imports it from a paper. And I was tossing around doing the Bella and bringing it in, but I was like, no, this was such a pain in the butt that I don't think I want to bother with doing paper, importing paper ones again, unless there is a much easier way. But it is what it is, and it is helpful because I don't want to mark in my book in case I want to, sell it after I've, stitched it. And so like I took pictures with my camera and then like I was marking off in my camera, and it was just I was like, let me try this with Pattern Keeper. I know it can be done. And it can. The problem that I was having before is when it would give me the 10 by 10 grid, I lined up the 10 by 10 grid in one spot and it was only doing that little 10 by 10 section. And then if I pulled the grid like the full size, it was all weird and stuff. And I realized that I had to go in and edit the amount of rows there were. So, like I said, I figured it out and it's in Pattern Keeper and I can get you stitch totals, but the percentage is going to be a little skewed. And this one is also fully floss dropped, which this one doesn't have a lot of floss drops. I only had one more left to do to finish the floss dropping of it. Okay, so that was project 2. Project 3, oh, that one needs to go here too. Sorry, I mumble to myself. I realize as I'm doing these videos. So project number 3, give me, is Tilton Crafts, and it is called Winter in the Shire. This one is 350 by 350, so it's going to be a nice square. It is still available on the website. I checked last week and it is still available. So while I might have purchased it on a retiring sale, this one is not retired. At least it was not last week. So this one is going to be hard to see. How close? Okay. I don't know how well you can see that. The color is 3865 and it is white or off-white. It is almost the exact same color as the grid. Here's where I start in this block right here, and there's just a few little confetti stitches and a few in this one. And then it starts into the block stitching here, and it's the tops of the trees as it's coming down. So I am over here. I really can't tell how well you can see that. I am trying to do this one by color completion because I thought that would be kind of fun to try, which is why I have the easy grid. And this one is in Pattern Keeper. So this past week, and I put in 3 hours, 52 minutes, and 2 seconds. And on the 7th, I did 183 stitches. On the 8th, I did 249 stitches. On the 9th, I did 210 stitches. On the 10th, I did 318 stitches. Now, on the 10th, I worked on it an hour and 6 minutes and did 318 stitches. So I'm well over 175 stitches an hour on this one. And it's mainly because it's just the one color and I'm concentrated in this one area. But for this one, I have now put in 7 hours, 51 minutes, and 1 second. And so I am at 1,679 stitches out of 122,500, and I am 1.37% done. I like having those stats in Pattern Keeper, but importing paper was, I don't want to repeat that experience again. I mean, I probably did it wrong, or I probably, just got confused. I wish for this Tilton Crafts project that the color was not this white color. I wish it were any color but this white color, because I myself am having trouble seeing the white against the grid, the color of the canvas. it's very difficult to see. And I am now down to 17,803 stitches left. I believe I started at 19,000 and something. So I really do like seeing those stats and having that progress. Pattern Keeper is amazing. Okay, let's figure out where it is. Project number 4. Yes, here it is. Okay, project number 4 is, this is the one that I work on while I'm waiting for the kids to get out of school. This is a Candamar Designs kit. The designer is Christian Reese Lassen, and this kit is from 1998. It is called Silent Journey Picture, and it is 51045. Okay, and this is the one that I had not started yet last week, but I was starting it that day. So here is my start. This black is a mixture of, I'm assuming like 310. It has a different number. It's black and a black filament. And I forgot how much filaments can be a pain in the butt. So anyway, I was going to go up along the edge like I normally do and come out, but a lot of these symbols are like really long and like come over like this way. And so with me starting here, it was harder. Like I didn't want to jump and like hit all those edges and stuff. So I then worked my way down, and then I'm along this bottom edge and I'm trying to find my edge. This last stitch is 10 stitches away from the edge. So once I find this edge, then I'll probably work up along here and then come over and then stitch it down. So yeah, there's my 4 projects since I hadn't started the last one last time. This one is on paper, so I don't have any sort of stats, and I'm really not going to attempt to pull this one into Pattern Keeper. It's, nope, not going to do it. So that's it. I will see everyone next week with progress on everything then. Hopefully, I will have a good portion of the Bella Filipina's top half of the mermaid. I can't wait to get to some of those. Like I can't wait to get to her head. And it's going to be so fun. One of the things that I need to get with my 1, 2, 3 stitch order is a beading needle and some beading thread. And I also need to check if they have that other water lilies color that I need, and the other if they have the Crynyx as well. If not, I have a local store that I can go and get the Crynyx at. But it's just easier when I can load it all into one shopping cart. So anyway, that's it. That's it. I don't have anything else. I didn't work on anything else. I was mainly floss dropping and trying to import things into Pattern Keeper and then marking it all off into Pattern Keeper. Oh, I did do one other thing. I finished recharting the Lady of the Thread. And so I imported it into Pattern Keeper and then I marked off what's been done. So, yeah, so this is recharted and I will work on this in March. So now on my weekends, when I have the spare time, I won't be working on the rechart. I will then be working probably on the Bella Filipina because that's the one that sits right next to my bed. That's the one that I work on right before bed. And so this one ends up seeing the most love. This one gets the most attention. I have the most time at bedtime to devote to this. Like after dinner and, getting the kids into the bath and stuff, I just go upstairs and my husband is watching whatever TV show he's watching at the time. And so I just pull my stitch over and just start stitching. A lot of times I will listen to Spotify. So I'll listen to music or I'll listen to a podcast. I don't really do Flosstube while I'm stitching because I take my glasses off to stitch and I'm blind. Like now that I've taken my glasses off, I can't even see the camera. Like it's just a blur of colors. So I am I can't see far away things, so that's why my vision as far as my laptop is bad. But when I'm stitching, it's a lot closer to my face, and so I end up taking because right now I can see the holes perfectly on this. So I stitch without my glasses, and I can't watch TV and I can't watch Flosstube. Like I can listen to Flosstube, but if I want to look over and see what they're talking about, I have to either do this to see what's going on, or I have to put my glasses on, and it interrupts my flow. So I generally listen to music or podcasts. Um, I will say, since Linkin Park dropped their new album in November 2024, I have listened to that on repeat. Like I love that new album. It reminds me so much of Hybrid Theory, their first album, that I love it and I like the direction that the band is going in. And then uh, I'll listen to scary story podcasts, or I'm not real big into true crime, but when I'm knee deep into writing my book, I did listen to some true crime podcasts to sort of get into that mentality, which I don't think I finished telling you. I did finish writing my book, the one that I was writing during NaNoWriMo. Well, finishing writing during NaNoWriMo. I did not finish it by the end of November, but I did finish it like December. It was either the second or the third. And I finished it with 80,500 and some words. So now my BFF has it and she is reading it and, trying to help with edits. My husband has it. He's gotten 3 chapters in and he's asked me if there's an audiobook version. So I told him because he's not going to read it. Every book that I write, the dedication is going to be like, this book is not for my husband because he hasn't read it yet. This book is also not for my husband because he hasn't bothered reading the other one. It just, I'm going to have a running joke in there in the dedications because I'm a little salty because he told me he would read it when I finished writing it, and it's been finished writing, and he's not a reader. That's the thing. He's not a reader. And I knew he wasn't going to read it. So it's not like I'm really upset. Only because he said, "No, I'll read it when you finish writing it." So he hasn't. I'm thinking about going to the elementary school and seeing if there are any of the English teachers that would like to, for a little bit of money, that would like to edit, the book because I need help. I need to make sure that punctuation, grammar, spelling, I need to make sure that complete sentences come out because there are times that I think as it's coming through my brain and I'm trying to type it down, I think that my brain is just going way too fast for my fingers to keep up. Um, so that's where I am in that process. The first draft is finished. So now I need to go through myself and reread it. I already know the plot of the second and the third books. So it's really just trying to find balance, trying to find time between my hobby and working on my creative process. Um, and that's it. I promise. I promise. So I will see everyone next week with a stitching update.